everyone. Here we are with our three students to discuss follow-up questions that are expected in July 2023. So let's start. Do you think people like noisy places?
Well, I don't think people like noisy places because it disturbs their peace. So they mainly prefer to live in a place where noise is less.
Why do some people like to meet in places with loud music?
I think people have their different preferences whether they want to meet in the place where there is loud music or the place where there is less music. But people like to meet in the loud music areas because they are habitual of listening music and also they find it soothing to their mind.
Listening to, okay? Should parents tell their children to be less noisy?
Yes, I think parents should tell their children to be less noisy as it is a sort of disturbance. There have been instances where children make a lot of noise and they disturb the people living around, their neighbors, etc.
Okay. Is it important for children to learn about appropriate noise levels and when it is necessary to be quiet and why?
Yes, because it's a part of a personal development of one. Either it's a youngster or an adult one, everyone should know about it.
What is the role of speaking and speech imitation in child development?
Speaking and speech imitation play a major role in child development. It has been proved or discovered by various psychologists that children learn when they see the adults imitating some various words or sounds of various letters.
Does speaking and speech imitation help only with the language development or are there more benefits?
Overall, speaking and speech imitation help in overall development of the children. It's not just in their language development, it is also in their development on the thought process, on the thinking level.
Alright, next topic is describe a popular person in your country. Let's discuss. Do you want to be famous?
No, I do not want to be famous as I think that the people who are famous face a lot of difficulties while going to places such as to the restaurants and the hotels. So I think I do not want to become famous.
Do you think that famous people are generally happier than ordinary people?
Well, it depends on one's perspective. The one who are not famous, sometimes they are also more happier than the celebrities. But the celebrities have wealth, which due to which they can buy a lot of things that can provide them satisfaction.
What qualities does a person need to have in order to become famous?
In order to become famous, a person should be hardworking, dedicated, diligent, and focused.
In what ways do famous people influence the public?
I think there are many ways that famous people can influence the public, but according to me, by making the movies that are related to the religions, people can influence the actors can influence the people easily.
What types of people become famous in your country?
Well, the people having talent, such as expressing their emotions through their act, are mainly famous, and the people who are doing good deeds, such as Mr. Ravi Singh, who is the CEO of Khalsa, the people like him are also famous in my country.
Do you think more is expected from famous people than from ordinary citizens?
Yes, definitely more is expected from famous people than ordinary citizens because famous people have a ability that they can bring a large section of society together for any sort of work. Maybe that is for social welfare or various initiatives.
Alright, next topic is a complaint you made. What are some common reasons why people make complaints in everyday life?
I think people make complaints about feeling stressed or having a lot of work to do. In everyday life, people face difficulties such as burden of work they get from the office, or children prefer making complaints about getting lots of homework from the school.
Who is more likely to make complaints, older or young people?
Making complaints is regardless of age. Everyone in all the age groups, people usually make complaints. The complaints can be of the stressful workloads, stressful lives, day to day chores, or for homeworks in children, and various sports related activities. And in the older individuals, it's that less family time. So it varies from age to age.
Okay, do you think people complain more nowadays as compared to past?
Yes, definitely people nowadays complain more because their expectations has rose from the past. In the earlier times, people didn't expect much as compared to now.
Is it better to complain verbally or in writing?
I think it is better to complain in writing, because while speaking, people forget about the things that they wanted to mention while making a complaint. So I think it is better to complain through the means of writing so that they can express themselves more effectively through the means of writing.
How do you think social media has influenced the way people make complaints?
Social media has taken a toll on people's life. It has influenced people's life to a great deal. And in the particular criteria of making complaints, nowadays people usually come openly speak on the platforms and complain regarding various things. Whereas earlier they used to complain via writing or by going to the court, etc.
Is it important for companies to handle complaints from their customers properly?
Well, definitely, because the complaints are the feedback of the work or the services given by the company. So they should keep a check on it.
Do you believe that complaints are necessary for the improvement of products and services?
Yes, I think complaints are necessary for for the improvement in the products made by the companies, so that they can improve the quality of the goods that they have made. Complaints are also necessary because the customers did not like the product earlier, so they made complaints, so the company can improve the things that they did earlier.
All right. Next topic is a job you like or you want to do in future. What kind of jobs require providing information to people?
Various types of require providing information to people. These may include people working in government jobs where where they need to interact with the people and provide them various information on the government policies, etc.
Avoid repeating question, okay? What skills or qualities do people need to be able to provide information?
Well, one should be an open speaker because when you have the knowledge but you don't have the ability of speaking and providing the information, then it's not worth it. One should be an open speaker so that he can convey the message he wants to tell.
Okay. Do some people have more correct information than others?
Yes, I think it varies according to the people whether they have more information or less information. The people who have read more books and have gained more knowledge by reading different sources, they have more knowledge to tell people. But people who are less keen while studying the books, they definitely have less knowledge regarding things.
What is more important for students? Facts or correct information?
For students, I think both facts and correct information are important, as at various times they need facts related to their varied subjects, and at times those facts should be correct. There should be those facts should be statistically correct, and statistical misuses should be avoided.
Next topic is the time you were late. Are you good at managing your time?
Well, I can say that I'm good at managing my time. From a very young age, I started making timetable and I'm continuing that habit till now.
Do people in your country think that being on time is important?
Yes, people in my country think that being on time is important, as can be seen in the metropolitan cities, where even a few seconds affect or make a change.
How can people manage their time, especially when dealing with multiple tasks?
I think there are many things that people can help with organizing the multiple tasks, such as people can make timetables. Also, people can set reminders in their mobile phone so that they do not forget any work to do. So, I think these are the important things that people can do to manage their time.
Do you think time management is a skill that can be learned and improved? If yes, why? If no, why not?
Yes, I think time management is a skill that can be learned and improved. As when I was a child, I was unable to manage my time, but with the passage of time, I have improved myself and worked on managing my time, and now I can manage my time properly.
Can technology help with time management in what way?
Yes, technology can definitely help in time management. There are various software applications which have appeared on the screen that help people manage their time effectively.
Next topic is a place you would recommend to tourists. What kind of places or activities in your hometown would you recommend to visitors?
Well, there are many places that attract tourists to my hometown, such as Kila Mubarak, Sheesh Mahal. These are the historical buildings. Rather than this, there are many religious temples which are well famous, such as Shri Dukh Nivaran Sahib. It's really famous. And activities like the fest held every February in my hometown in Sheesh Mahal. There are many swings and adventurous activities that one can do.
Okay. Why would you recommend these places or activities?
Because in today's world everybody is busy with their schedule, so they need a time for relaxing and spending their time with themselves, so these activities act as a stress buster for them.
Okay. Why have people nowadays started migration to European or Western countries?
People nowadays have started migration to various countries, European or the American or Latin American countries, because of the better job opportunities, better standards of living, and lifestyle.
What are the positive and negative aspects of this trend?
The positive aspects are of this trend are like they get better job opportunities. They live in places where there are high standards of living, and there are more facilities for them. And the negative things are that in their own country there is a lack of employment, which results.
Negative side of migration, of course, homesickness, the
Homesickness.
language problem, cultural shock. So there are so many other problems they face while migrating to other countries. Okay, next topic is describe your first day at school. And the questions are, do you think students should be taken to school by their parents or they should go by themselves?
I think when children are going to the school for the first time in the first years, then parents should go with the children to drop them to the school, because in the early time they are fearful of going to the school and have no idea what they would have to do in the school. But with the passage of time, children should be allowed to go themselves to the school as they become a little bit more independent from depending on the parents.
Should children rely on their parents or try to be more independent?
I think when children are infants and they are the toddlers, then they should be dependent on their parents. But with the time, they should not be dependent on the parents and start becoming independent. And because in the future, their parents would not be available every time to do their works, so children should be independent while doing their different works.
In your opinion, how important is it for school children to develop independence?
I think it's very important for school children to develop independence in them. According to me, as the time grows for higher studies and even in their later lives for their careers, etc., they need to migrate to other places. And at the time, if they're dependent on their parents, they find it very hard to adjust to the new circumstances.
How can schools promote independence among students?
Schools can promote independence among students with various activities where they can, which such as activities that can be included in the children on various tasks they can be given that in terms of various activities where they can be given a particular thing that they have to buy, and they have to visit a place on their own, and they have to record things in such way. In various activities they can promote.
Should parents be more or less involved in their children's school life and why?
Well, in the primary classes, parents should keep an eye on their children. But when they grow up and are in the higher standards, then I don't think parents should involve in the student's life.
What can be the effects of parents interfering with their children's choices?
Well, the children become more irritated due to this, because because in the past time when the parents used to impose the career options on the students, then they were not well satisfied or well settled. But nowadays, parents are more on the cooperative side and are cooperating with the children's choices and are giving them the freedom to select their career.
How can parents strike a balance between supporting their children and encouraging independence?
I think there are different ways that parents can help their children by supporting them and encouraging them as well. Parents can support their children while making some decisions, but later on they should keep the decision to themselves only, so that they can choose the perfect field that the children want to select.
Next topic is describe an advertisement you don't like. This is also latest topic. What are the most advertised products in your country?
The most advertised products in my country are related to cosmetics and makeup. Fashion trends are also there, which are advertised nowadays.
Which one is more effective, newspaper ad or online?
I personally believe that online ads are more effective, as people nowadays, in this time of social media, seldom read newspapers, whereas they're very frequent on the internet.
What role do social media play in advertising?
Well, social media is the best way of advertisement because nowadays youngsters are more on such platforms. So, by advertisements on the social media, they cover a large amount of market.
What do you think of celebrity endorsements in advertising?
Well, students and youngsters who have the role models, they always follow their advertisements and the things they do. So, due to that, they also become the customer of that company.
Because the brand ambassadors are their favorites.
Favorites.
Does advertising encourage us to buy things we don't need?
Yes, most of the time people are encouraged by watching the advertisements that they like. For example, whenever I scroll through Instagram or YouTube, I see advertisements of the things that I have no need to buy. But later on, when I like the products and the reviews are also very effective, then I go for buying the products. And so I think such products are not necessary for me, but still I like the advertisements, and then I go for buying them.
Yes, ads persuade us to buy things we don't need. How do ads make people buy new products?
I think advertisements encourage people buying new products by launching the products that are of different colors, or they have various advantages. So people prefer buying the products that are also advertised by their fashion icons. So ads persuade people to buy things that are advertised by their favorable actors or actress.
Favorite, not favorable. How do ads make people buy new products? Of course, by giving the information. How do we come to know what kind of product is launched in the market? So, through advertisement only. There is a new type of car, new type of perfume, and of course, ads persuade us to buy them. They not only inform us, but they persuade us also. What are the advantages of advertisements?
If we look at the benefits of advertisements, then they have a number of advertisements. They persuade people to buy new products which are technologically advanced, and they provide with a variety of substitutes for various options.
How does marketing make people choose particular goods and brands?
Well, due to marketing, they came to know about the new product that is launched in the market. So, by getting the knowledge of that product and by seeing the reviews of that product, they came to know about it and end up buying it.
Yes, of course, marketing is the main tool in advertisement. Next topic is describe a favorite place in your home where you can relax. Where do people spend most of their time in their home?
I think people prefer spending most of their time in the lawns of their home or in their living areas. So, according to me, I prefer most of the time in the living area. So, while watching the television and interacting with my parents as well, and also I play with my and most of the time I play indoor games with my siblings in the living area only.
Why do some people prefer to relax in public places like parks and cafes?
People usually want to have more peace and solitude, and at times they even want to self talk and spend their time with themselves, me time. So for that, people usually go to public parks, etc., where maximum of the people don't know them and they
Okay.
can enjoy themselves.
Do you think there should be classes for training young people and children how to relax?
No, I don't believe in this because I think everyone finds their own places to relax and according to their own interests. So having particular class for that is not a necessity.
Which is more important, mental relaxation or physical relaxation?
Well, mental and physical both are important for a person,
Mhm.
as if they are fit physically and relaxed as well, they can do a lot of work. And same goes for the mental relaxation, because doing work can put a lot of stress on one's mental health. So keeping it fit is necessary.
Next topic is describe a place you visited, the air was polluted. Okay? And the questions are, how can air quality be improved?
I think there are different ways that can help in improving the quality of air, such as vehicles that emit a lot of gas or pollution should be replaced with the electricity vehicles, and also the methane gases should be emitted from using, along with people should be traveling through the means of bicycles for the short distances, instead of traveling by their scooters or bikes.
Do you think the city is cleaner or dirtier than the countryside?
I think cities are definitely dirtier than the countryside, because in the countryside the involvement of the vehicles is very less, and the industries are also less in the countryside area. But in the urban area there are a lot of factories that emit a lot of poisonous gases. So I think countryside is better than the cities.
Is there more pollution now than in the past?
In the past, there were less industries as compared to now, and there were less facilities for transportation for individuals. People usually preferred public transport instead of their personal means. So, yes, definitely.
What can factories do to reduce pollution?
Well, the waste thrown by the factories and the gases emitted by them are the main reason of more pollution nowadays. So, by taking few measures such as throwing the waste to the decomposed pit, by doing such things, a huge difference can be seen.
Who should be responsible for protecting the environment?
I think both the citizens of the country and the government should be responsible for protecting the environment, because governments had made various policies to protect the environment. But if the ordinary people would not be supporting the government by implementing those laws and policies, then the government would also be unable to protect the environment. So I think both of them play a vital role to protect the environment.
Alright, next topic is describe a technological product you own and you feel difficult to use, or means first time you used it and it was difficult to use. Okay? Questions are, what technology do people currently use?
People currently use different sorts of technology nowadays. It varies from place to place and source to source. There are various countries which have developed a lot in the technological field, and their robotic technology is used widely. Whereas in some countries, basically the African countries, which are very poor, such technologies have not reached them. So it depends from place to place.
Why do big companies often upgrade their products?
According to me, it is the cutthroat competition nowadays, because companies are competing with each other to cover the large amount of market. So after a few intervals, they have to launch a new product so that they don't lose the market that they gained.
Why are people so keen on buying iPhones? Even though they haven't changed much, every time they upgrade it, why people are keen on buying?
I think people are a lot of interested in buying iPhones, as nothing have even changed in the recent levels
Model.
of in the recent models of the iPhones. I think because they want to go with the trend that is going on in the society. Also, for example, my cousin last year bought an iPhone, that is iPhone 13, But as the iPhone 14 have been launched, now he again purchased the iPhone 14 only just to show off between the relatives that he is rich enough so that he can afford different types of iPhones.
That's true. Okay. And iPhone lovers are doing this, I think. 6 to 7, 7 to
Wait.
8, 8 to 10, 10 to 14. And now, very soon, there will be another one. Okay. Does the development of technology affect the way we study?
Yes, there are various consequences of this thing of development of technology in the way people study nowadays. Because earlier the people used to go more often to libraries, they used to search more books, refer to various newspapers and various other sources. But nowadays people just have to surf on the internet. It has its importance, but on the contrary, many of the sites and the sources are not verified, and there are wrong informations there.
Next topic is describe something you would like to learn in the future. What is the most popular skill to learn these days?
Well, I think cooking is the most common one. And even when the pandemic was there, most of the people tried doing new things and cooking new things. So even I am learning it for my personal life, because in future I am planning to live apart from my parents. So this is the most necessary thing. So I'm even learning it.
Any other skill you would like to add? I would like to add communication skill. These days, I think that is also important.
Yes, ma'am.
And any other skill you would like to add? She said cooking, I said communication, and you?
I think people should be knowing about the manicure and pedicure facilities nowadays, because in the upcoming time, more a lot of money is invested in such skills.
Can we also say
Skincare, you are talking about
Skincare.
skincare, okay. Otherwise, driving is also very good skill.
Can we also say that one should learn how to control their anger also? Because
Anger
nowadays
management,
people-
time management,
Yes,
that's a key to success.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. What are the ways people can learn practical subjects such as cooking?
I think there are different ways that people can learn the practical subjects. For example, cooking. People can learn cooking from joining the cooking institutes, or people can learn cooking easily from their parents, as like their mother. So I think it is very important to be engaged in the household chores in the home so that they can learn cooking.
What makes young people choose a major, interest or career?
Both interest and career play a crucial role in the choices made by various students, and it can be like people usually prefer to choose a career where their interest lies. So both the things are interrelated.
Okay. Other than parents, who else would people take advice from?
I personally believe that teachers are the best one to take the advice from, because they know us from our educational journey, so they know where we stand. So they also know our interest and our capability, so they can give us the best advice ever.
Next topic is describe some good news you heard from others. How do people share good news?
People have different means by them that they can share their good news, share their news that is good or bad. So I think people can share news via mobile phones, like phone calls, or by text messages, or people can simply visit each other at their home or in the offices they work to share the news that they know.
What kind of good news do people like to hear?
People usually like to hear good news, which includes their promotions, their fulfillment of their goals, and better opportunities for them.
Do people like to hear good news from their friends?
Well, definitely, people like to hear good news from their friends, because I personally like when my friends grow and they achieve the goals they had set for them. So, according to me, people do like it.
Is it good to share something on social media?
I think it varies according to the choices of people whether they want to share the feelings or the news on social media or not. But according to me, I think it is not important to share everything on social media, because most of the people on social media are well wishers. Some even want bad for the other people. So I think it is not important.
How to handle bad news?
People should handle bad news when with their parents, discussing it with their parents and with the help of their friends. They should be optimistic indeed, and friends and family are the first people who try to motivate them.
Should the media publish only good news?
Well, it is not necessary because every coin has two sides. So, media should also publish the bad news, because whatever is happening in the world, people should be aware of it. Either it's good or bad.
Generally, in media industry, bad news are news. Good news is not news. Next topic is describe a historical period you would like to know more about. Should everyone know history?
Yes, I think it is very important to learn about the history.
Mhm.
We should be knowing about the history of our ancestors, about the kings and the queens, and also we should know about the history of the place where we are living, so that we can know more about the origin and the people who were the ancestors of our lives. So I think it is very important to learn about the history.
In what ways can people learn history?
I think there are different sources through which people can learn history, such as through the books that are provided in the school should contain the historical lectures, and also people can learn history from their parents by gossiping with them. And later on, there are different sources available on the internet where they can where they can get more knowledge about the history.
Even they can visit the historical places.
Using some.
How can children learn history?
Children can learn history by visiting to various museums, referring to their parents, asking questions about various things to them, and also history is a subject taught in the curriculums in the schools. So, asking the history teachers, studying history, taking that as a subject in the higher grades, children can learn.
Okay, is it hard to protect historical buildings?
It's not impossible, but a little difficult to protect historical places. Nowadays, various people who come forth to protect it are actually altering the historical places. They're using different things, and the historical places now, after the so-called preservation, are quite different from the historical places which they originally were.
Okay. Are history museums useful?
Yes, definitely historical museums are beneficial because they hold a special meaning of everything, and the things that were used in the past are displayed over there, so they represent the history of it.
Should museums be free?
Well, I don't think museums should be free because some people might take things from there that can lead to a damage to the government. So even the tourist and the local visitors should have a ticket to visit it.
Alright, next topic is describe an unusual meal you had. And top questions are, what are the differences between a cafe and restaurant?
I think there are. I think there are. I think there is not a big difference between the restaurants and the cafes. But according to me, restaurants are the places where people can get different. People can get different dishes along with the along with the area to celebrate their opportunities. But in the cafes, they are not much big as compared to the restaurants. Cafes are limited to a specific area only and to a specific functions only. So I think these are the differences that I know between the restaurants and the cafes.
Which is more popular among people when they meet, a cafe or a restaurant?
I think cafe is more popular among people because cafes provide quite a limited variety of food items, whereas restaurants provide a lot more than that. So I think restaurants are preferred by people for family functions and gatherings, etc. Whereas when at times when people want to visit with their friends and have a a time of peace and just with their friends or the close one, then they
Then they
prefer to go to cafes.
Okay. What kind of people like to go to cafes?
Well, the youngsters, such as the students of my age, prefer going to the cafe because they like to spend time with their friends.
Why do many people like to study in a cafe?
People like to study in a cafe because the atmosphere there is very peaceful. There's no pomp and show, no party going on, and it is very peaceful atmosphere, and hence people try prefer to study there.
Is it expensive to eat out in your country?
I think it depends upon the places where we are going, whether they are expensive or not. In my country, there are places for the people who are not much rich and who cannot afford the richer restaurants or cafes. But there are also places for the rich people that they can visit with their friends and families.
Next topic is describe a character from a movie. And the follow-ups are there many people in your country who want to be actors?
Yes, many people in my country are fascinated by the glorious lives of the actors and film stars, and hence they idolize to have the same sort of life. And for this purpose, they join various acting schools. They take acting as a subject.
What is the difference between acting in a theater and film? Very nice
Well,
question, I guess.
I don't think there's much difference because acting itself shows how to act a emotion. Only few people can do it, and I personally think they are the most talented one. So either they are acting in a theater or in a film, they are just showing the emotions of the character.
And the main difference is in theater you have to perform in front of live audience, and in movies you can retake, you can shoot in front of cameras. There is no live audience. Okay. Is acting a respected profession in your country?
Yes, I think acting is a respected profession in my country, but in the past it was not much respectable as people believed that actors were not the good characters in the real life. But as the time has passed, people respect the actress and the actors as they believe them that they are the fashion icons for them and they are the ideals for them to follow in their life.
Are there any drawbacks to be a famous actor?
Behind the glorious life, there are a lot many problems that the actors face. It is that as they enjoy a huge fan following, after this, at times people don't. Let them enjoy their privacies. They interfere in their personal lives. They disturb their mental state. They even pass rude and harsh comments on their family members, etc. And handling those stressful things and all is difficult for them.
Okay. Some people say that actors are paid too much money. Would you agree?
Yes, I would definitely agree with the statement. No doubt the actors should be paid for the work they have done, but giving them access is not a good thing. For example, Mr. Tata, he is a well-known entrepreneur. He gave half of his salary to the charity works. So even the actors can do the same instead of getting paid on a very high scale.
Okay. Next topic is the last one for this session. Describe a gift you received, and the follow ups are what sorts of rewards or gifts are suitable for children?
I think there are different things that teachers or parents or anyone can give children as a means of reward, such as soft toys to the toddlers and to the grown up age children. We can provide them with the mobile phones or laptops, or even we can give them accessories such as bracelets or necklaces. Later on, we can even buy them bicycles so that it would be as a type of reward also for them, and also they can stay healthy by riding it daily.
In your country, do children receive many awards at school?
There are many awards that the schools provide the children with in order to improve their performance in the upcoming classes, etc. And for various sports fields also, whenever there are the people, basically the children under 19, those who have attended national, international sports sports championships and platforms, they are rewarded by the governments and even their schools and teachers in terms of many monetary cash prizes, etc.
Okay. Do rewards motivate people?
Yes. Reinforcement or rewards motivate people to do better next time and continue the same the thing in the upcoming performances.
What kinds of rewards can companies offer their employees to motivate them?
Well, and the rewards are obviously given to the one who is doing a hard work and is putting efforts for the company. So to motivate them and to reward them, the companies can give them bonus or maybe some sort of small trip or coupon such as and the 2 day off or 3 day vacation trip. So by these means they can motivate their workers.
Okay. Are there any rewards you can offer people that are not objects?
I think there are different rewards other than objects that I can or other people can offer people, such as means of helping each other. That is also a type of reward, and we can even be a support for a people who is not emotionally well and is not mentally stable. Then we can support them by expressing ourselves, and sometimes talk therapy is also a type of reward for people.
Yes. Like she said, that can also be added like cash, bonus, or a trip, a day off. These are not objects, but these can be a reward. This is the end of this session. Thank you.